Jazz Chisholm is on a new cover of MLB The Show. Today, we'll be talking about that and the biggest moves from this offseason, and also the teams that benefit the most from this MLB offseason. Today on Inside the Diamond was our guest star, center fielder, catcher for CBA Baseball, Jack McKeon. Jack, welcome to the podcast. How are we doing today? All right, today we're going to talk about some topics. Chisholm on the cover, of course. Well, what's your thoughts on that for MLB The Show?
Do I have thoughts on that? All right. So listen, I understand what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to get like the younger audience, like the energetic, the vibrant, the colorful Jazz Chisholm in there. I get it. But on the other hand, he's not that good. I mean, like you have guys like Judge, you have guys like Soto, you have guys like Acuna. Put all them on the cover. No one would complain. I feel like Chisholm, like he's not even like a top 5 second baseman, you know? And I feel like he's in a kind of a big market city, so I understand that a little bit. But like again, you have guys like Judge, and you have guys like even like Garrett Cole, like in New York, like these guys in New York, like Lindor, all these exciting young players you have like coming up too. Adley Rutschman, even I would prefer Adley Rutschman to be on the cover rather than Jazz Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm, in my opinion, is just I don't know. He's just not the guy you want there. I feel like it's the guy that you could project to be like the new like Julio Rodriguez, perfect guy. He's exactly like Jazz Chisholm, but actually a better baseball player, in my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's just my thoughts. I understand what they're trying to do. I completely get it, but they're trying to connect with the younger audience. But I just feel like there's plenty of guys that you could put in there, and no one's gonna be like, "Oh, where's Jazz Chisholm on the cover?" No one's gonna be saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what they're doing, going for a flashy guy. You know, obviously he's got that flair to him that gets some people involved.
No, yeah, and he's got that like energy, and I feel like, and that like kind of vibe. I feel like that they're going for, but
I just feel like he's not the guy that you want to be the face of the league. You know, I feel like there's just better players out there that, like you said, J-Rod, he has that flash still to him, and he's younger. So you're getting a younger generation too. How about the deluxe cover though, having Derek Jeter?
Yeah, I think that's the I don't know if it's the right decision, but it's solid. You know, Jeter obviously is one of the best shortstops ever. Plays for a big market team like the Yankees. I think that's honestly a great cover. There's nothing to really complain about. I'm surprised he did it. I just feel like Jeter just kind of like wouldn't do that kind of stuff. But listen, he's a great guy. He's a great person. You know, he doesn't really have any like bad stuff like that he's done in his career. So I feel like he's just the kind of the right guy.
Very marketable.
And he's not maybe the most like flat. He's not like Jazz, you know. He's not like he's not the most energetic, colorful guy in the world, but he's definitely a very solid player. And he can connect with a lot of people. Even like me, like I didn't watch him growing up that much, but I just know about him. He's one of my favorite players ever. So I feel like it's a great move.
I feel like he's got that like will to just go and want more. You know, he gives that instinct definitely. More. Like he
definitely wasn't the most talented player, but he was definitely he had something that a lot of people just didn't.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I mean, you can't complain much about something like that. You know, it's a cover for that's gonna have some legendary players on it. I mean, personally, I think Pools would have been a better option.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And his retirement season.
Yeah, considering that I mean, his season he had was remarkable, and in the time like I've seen him growing up, a lot of people were playing the game. I've seen him playing, but I don't think Jeter's the wrong pick. I feel like the biggest market they have is New York and Yankee fans. So I feel like anytime they can get a guy like that on the cover, that they're going to sell a lot more of their game.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Moving on to our next topic. What do you think were some of the biggest moves this offseason in MLB?
Biggest moves. So I definitely think Jacob deGrom rather to Texas is probably the biggest. Assuming he can stay healthy, he's obviously the best pitcher on the planet. He's going to fix up that rotation. Rangers they're not a bad team. They just need that guy, you know. They need that leader. They need that older guy, veteran guy that, you know, knows what to do with knows how to pitch. They don't really have had no one in the past decade or so that really has been an all-star caliber pitcher. But I feel like that, and they got a lot of other arms too, like Andrew Heaney, Jake Odorizzi. Guys will step in and do their jobs and, you know, pick up the slack that they just have been missing. Other than that, obviously, I mean, Carlos Correa to the Twins is also very big. I feel like that. Underrated signing, though, is Dansby Swanson to the Cubs because he's a guy that I feel like went criminally underrated last year. He's going to step in, be the soul of that team, and just I feel like lead them to a very good year this year. Very good year.
Yeah, I mean, as a Met fan, that DeGrom season move. Did hurt a bit,
Got hurt.
but I mean that was definitely one of the biggest moves this offseason.
Yeah. And I see a lot of guys saying like it's the wrong move for the Rangers, like maybe in the long run, but if he's healthy, he's a potential to carry them to the playoffs. And
if he's healthy, he's one of the best pitchers on the planet. But that's one of his biggest problems is just trying to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that Correa,
that was crazy. I mean, I'm not a Met fan, but
jumping from team to team.
That's terrible.
I mean, physicals, everything. I mean, that was a wild offseason for him.
Craziest stories I've ever seen. I mean, my God. But also, I feel like another move. It's Trey Turner, the Phillies, is also a very good move. They're missing the shortstop. They didn't have him, so to go from being in the World Series last year and with that roster to put Trey Turner in that middle of the lineup, it's going to be huge for them because they're missing that. I feel like that contact speed kind of guy at the top of their lineup to do that for them. And I feel like with Harper out for a little bit of this year, I feel like he's just going to be huge for them throughout the start of this year. And if they can just get to the playoffs, get Harper healthy, get all these guys back, I feel like they're a very dangerous team, especially in the National League.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, I mean, they did not have that great of a season last year.
No, they didn't. But they had guys that stepped up in the playoffs.
And they really made some moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be some threats next season. I do think.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
I mean, even though the Mets did lose DeGrom, they did make a big signing with Verlander. That definitely helped the team. I mean, losing one big pitcher, but you're gaining another one, so that rotation's still.
He's the Cy Young winner from last year. Like what else can you say? I mean, you'd expect him to fall off, and I feel like he will at some point, but you can't tell because I expected him to fall off 6 years ago, right? Like I thought he was going to be terrible, and he's winning a Cy Young after Tommy John surgery, after missing 2 years at 40 years old. It's just crazy. So even though he's old, I still think he's going to be an ace. I still think and they have Max Scherzer too. So Mets are going to be fine. I feel like they're going to actually make a deep run this year, even though I don't like them as a Yankee fan. I do think they're going to make a great run. I feel like adding Brandon Nimmo is huge for them, especially because I feel like he's their soul of their team. He's just kind of, he's what they need. They needed a good center fielder. They need a good defender out there. So just getting him back is huge for them.
Yeah, I mean, he's also good. I mean, he brings that energy. If you see whenever he gets hit by a pitch, walked, he's sprinting to first base. He's in the outfield. He'll get down any ball. So I think that was a great signing. Not just for on the field, but also in the locker room, keep that team going throughout the whole long season. The Mets also did sign pretty big the pitcher from Japan.
Oh, yeah, his name. But yeah, no, he should be really good for them. And they're just 1 through 5 is just, I mean, it's crazy. I think the Yankees is better, but we can have that debate another time. But no, they're going to be a great team for many years because they got a great young core and Lindor, Alonso, so many other guys that can just step up and help this club win games. I feel like their bullpen, Edwin Diaz, I mean, nothing you can say about him. He's otherworldly,
Absolutely.
He's maybe the best we've seen since Mariano Rivera.
They just got to stay healthy, that rotation, because I feel like that was the downfall of most couple years.
Yeah, for them. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, besides the players, what teams you think made the biggest overall moves this offseason and benefited the most?
Well, I couldn't go through this whole thing without talking about the Yankees. So I think the biggest thing is signing Aaron Judge. I know he's on the team last year, but the things I've watched like every Yankee game. He's not in the lineup. They're not the same team. They're a pretty bad team, actually. If they're in the lineup, they're easily a World Series contender, without a doubt. He's that good. And I feel like getting a guy like that back, it's a little more money and a lot longer contract than they would have liked. But I feel like you just can't let that guy go. He's too good for them.
No, yeah.
Also, an underrated move by them is bringing back Anthony Rizzo. I feel like definitely with the shift band, he's going to be huge for them because I feel like those, really, really hard hit like line drives that are usually fielded by some guy, the shortstop by second base, they're going to be hits, right? They're going to be RBIs. So I feel like bringing him back is huge. Carlos Rodon, I mean, what can I say? I feel like he's going to fit him perfectly in New York. He's got the mindset to do it. I feel like a lot of pitchers can't play there, but I feel like he definitely can. He's got the right mindset, toughness in him. Other than the Yankees, I feel like Giants definitely had a really bad offseason. Dodgers too. They really didn't do anything.
No, yeah. The A's, they didn't get really anyone.
No.
The
White Sox
Phillies, I mean,
returning.
obviously made a big move with Trey Turner and
Yeah, Phillies definitely.
Talon Walker as a pitcher too.
Oh yeah,
So
I forgot about him too. He's gonna be huge for them. They definitely need. They have Wheeler and Nola. I definitely think they need that third guy to kind of get them through that playoff series because I feel like that was kind of what they were missing in the World Series last year. They had
Mhm.
Nola and Wheeler. They just needed some other guy that could. They don't need them to be perfect. They just need them to get through 5+ innings with 2 earned runs or less, and I feel like he can do
Absolutely.
that easily.
Yeah, I mean, they lost Syndergaard, who was probably they thought at the beginning when they got him could probably be that guy, but
No,
obviously
yeah.
didn't show out to be that. So this is definitely a better pitcher for them to have, I do
Mhm.
think.
Trying to think who else made a big move. Oh, the Padres. How'd I forget that? I mean, the fact that they were like inches away from getting Trey Turner's and Aaron Judge is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
But thinking about when Tatis comes back, he's one of the best players in the game. He's not on steroids. He's fine. Then you come back, it's gonna be Tatis, Bogarts, Machado, and Soto. That is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah,
Bogarts in San Diego is going to feast. Uh,
absolutely.
he killed us so many times the past 5 years. He is so good. He's so underrated. He's gonna fit right in with
Mhm.
them. So I feel like that's actually the biggest move of this offseason, getting Xander Bogaerts because Tatis, I mean, he's not great in the outfield, but he's not great at short either. So I feel like getting Xander in there will be really good. He's so good. He's so young, so talented. I'm really excited to see what Xander Bogaerts brings to the
Mhm.
Padres here.
A
They're
lot
gonna
of
be really good team.
a lot of big names, a lot of stars on that team, of course. I
Oh,
mean, if
easily. Yeah.
Soto can have a comeback season from
Oh, and
what
he
he
will.
ended
Oh,
last season with,
without a doubt, he will. I mean, the guy's so
um,
talented. I can't.
I mean, my only concern is if the team's too good, if there's too many
Yeah.
star players, are they, that's the
No, and
only
listen, I
concern.
feel like Machado's the one issue they have to worry about because he's shown in the past he's not the best teammate ever.
Mhm.
But if they can control him, get him to just say like, listen, we know you might be out after this year because he's got an option. I think after this year next, I don't remember which one. But if they can just sit him down and say, listen, we got 1 or 2 years to make this work. Just please do your role. We'll build around you. You'll probably hit third or fourth this year. Just please give us your all for these 2 years, and then you do whatever you want. I feel like if they can do that, they can easily win the World Series because Soto's proven to be a great teammate. He's so young, so mature at
Mhm.
this young age. Bogarts, I won a World Series. He's really, really good teammate. I know a lot about
Mhm.
the Boston team. He was really, really crucial, and
Mhm. Absolutely.
he can fit right in. And yeah, no, they're going to be a really scary team. Really, really scary.
Mhm. I mean, I also think the Cardinals made a pretty big move getting Contreras, especially after
Yeah.
losing someone like Molina and
hmm
also losing Pujols.
Yeah,
I
that's an
feel like that.
underrated move. I feel like not a lot of people are talking about, especially because
Mhm.
catchers in this league are just so rare. Like good catchers in this league are so
Mhm.
rare,
Absolutely.
good offensively and defensively. So I feel like getting him at behind the plate is just huge for them because especially going for someone from Yachty, they need that guy kind of
Mhm.
hold them together. I feel like um, another underrated move. I feel like that not a lot of people are talking about is Sean Murphy of the Braves. Got him for like nothing. One of the best pitchers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna. I mean, that team's stacked already, and listen, they're gonna go far in the playoffs. We already know that, but they don't have. They've Darno's okay, but they need that guy behind there to kind of handle that pitching staff.
Mhm.
I feel like he can do that really easily. I feel like he's just such an underrated catcher. No one really watches the A's, but he was their only offense. He was literally the only guy on the team. So I feel like
Yeah.
getting him out of Oakland and getting him into a Braves lineup where they have to actually pitch to him because they have other guys like Acuna and Olsen they have to like worry about. He's just gonna feast there, and he's great catcher, great hitter. That's I feel like a very underrated move that not a lot of people are talking. And they gave up nothing. They really gave up nothing for him for
Yeah.
one of the
Nothing.
league. It's crazy.
Yeah. The Astros, they also got Abreu. That was a pretty good move, I think, for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, definitely. And they've kind of missed that first baseman. That first base position has always been kind of a weak point for them if they've had
Mhm.
one. Yuli Gurriel is like 30, getting up there in age, like 38, I think. He can't play there.
Yeah.
He's just not good. So getting a guy like Abreu out there, he's an RBI machine. He'll drive all these guys in. Great bat to ball skills. Pretty good defender too. Won an MVP
Mhm.
in
Absolutely.
2020. So I feel like getting him will only improve them. I feel like a lot of people are like the Astros may not like do as good as they did last year. Obviously, win the World Series, maybe. But listen, Framber Valdez, Christian Javier, these guys really know what they're doing behind the pitching, and they've got a great lineup. Bregman, Altuve. I mean, Bregman's just surprised me every year. I always think that guy's just gonna be terrible, and he's getting better. Um, but they've got a great starting rotation, great bullpen. Ryan Presley's fantastic reliever for them. And I think that addition to Jose Ray is huge because I feel like they haven't had that guy at first in a while since maybe that 2017 team when Yuli was good in the playoffs. He wasn't a great regular season guy, but he's good in the playoffs. And I feel like if they can get Abreu to that level of Gurriel in the playoffs, they could be an even more dangerous team this year.
Absolutely. I mean, he'll definitely help them both on fielding and hitting, of course, for that team.
Yeah.
But like you said before, they've really never had a first baseman that could really like.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the one piece that team really needs.
Yeah, definitely.
Get going.
I mean, Kyle Tucker. I mean, they've got so many guys out there that can just do their jobs well and get RBIs, get great bat to ball skills. One of the things that Yankee team's missing is just guys that can just hit the ball. You know, a lot of them are just kind of home run dependent, walk dependent, striker dependent. And I feel like that's the difference between the Yankees and the Astros. They have guys that can just hit the ball no matter like where it is, just make contact. And the Yankees don't have that.
Yeah. I mean, I know this one might hurt, but I think the Red Sox, although they did lose Bogarts, they did make, I think, some good moves, like getting Kelly Jansen, Turner too.
Yeah, I get it. Like they're good, but I don't understand like why didn't they sign Zenner back? I don't really understand. They've got good
Yeah,
pieces,
no, I don't know.
think. I don't really understand the Justin Turner. They lost JD Martinez, which is kind of huge because he's been there a long time. He's DH. So I mean, it'll be interesting because they were really bad last year. I was not expecting that. But I feel like that addition of Justin Turner is just a weird one because he's like 38. I feel like he's going to play DH for them. I don't know. I mean, Kelly Jansen's definitely a good addition. They haven't had a good closer there in forever, I feel like. So that'll be big for them. But I don't know. Starting rotation is definitely a question mark. I don't know what to expect from them this year.
Absolutely. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us, Jack.
Yep, anytime. Thanks for having me.
Hopefully see you again.
Yep.
But that's all for today. That's a wrap for this episode on Inside Diamond. Thank you for joining us talking about the biggest moves from this MLB offseason and the teams that benefit the most. We also talked about the new cover athlete for the MLB The Show, Jazz Chisholm, with our special guest star, Jack McKeon. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next time on Inside Diamond.